Hello everyone, my name is Jake Tiger, and today I'm going to teach you how to make southeastern pucker-toed moccasins. So right here we have all the tools to get started on southeastern pucker-toed moccasins. As you can see right here with this one, the completed pair, it's very simple stitching. You have one going down the middle and one going down the back. Now this particular style is seminal in the stitching methods that are used. This cannot be mistaken for Muskogee Creek or Choctaw or Cherokee or Shawnee. This is strictly a Seminole style moccasin. Every southeastern American Indian tribe has their own distinctions in moccasins, but today we're going to show you how to do Seminole style. So the basic stuff you're going to need is, of course, a hide, brand tan, deer hide, which is preferable. People use commercial tan, which is easier to access through the internet. If you make brand tan, it's perfect. So right here we have a pattern of the leather to make our moccasins. As you see, it's one piece. It's laid out, looks like one big giant tortilla. And after you make your tracing, this is just a crude tracing of your foot pattern. And I'll explain how you do that to get your pattern. So imagine this right here is your foot. So you have the back of your heel. What you're going to do is you're going to take your one finger right at the heel and make a measurement, and then take two fingers at the front, and that will be where your foot will line up to give you extra room. To get the width, you would lay your foot down, get you a piece of string. You can go underneath where the highest arch of your foot would be at, and so you would essentially take your string, lay it out, the circumference, and that would be the width, and you connect these 2 points with your top one. Your back one is going to be flared out for your flaps. Flaps can vary, they can be big, they can be shortened. It doesn't really matter as long as you get the main general pattern, all right? So the items that you're going to need, of course, you're going to need a leather string. Most Seminole examples did have a leather lace going through them. I do know from museum collections we have seen sinew being used as well. This is brain sinew. This is from a backstrap of a deer. Next up is you're going to need an awl to make your punches, all right? Pointed end. Be very careful with it. You will end up poking yourself. It's completely fine. But you're going to need it to poke your holes on your moccasins to get your stitching lines. Next up is very heavy duty scissors. I recommend getting heavy duty grade because the leather is pretty thick at certain points, especially the neck period or the back of a deer. It's kind of hard to cut through with just basic kitchen scissors, so get you some really heavy duty ones like these. You can get these at Harbor Freight for like $10, all right? So we got the pattern out, right? So we have our two lines of our two center points, all right? This is where the middle of your foot and the back of your foot. And so the method right here that we're gonna use, and it varies as well, but particularly we like to use our fingers as measurements. So this is the middle line. Place your finger out and make a mark on the outside. So we're gonna make 7 of these little markings right here, and help you differentiate if you do get kind of turned around. Make your center point a lot different than your outside stitches, all right? So keep that going. And we will mirror the other side in a second. So we got 6 right there. And move on to this side. Get your nice and evenly spaced with your hands. The reason why we typically like to use our body measurements is because we want it to be the truest forming fit. And that goes with a lot of our traditional methods of making clothing, is we want it to match our bodies, right? And so this is that reason right there. Same goes for like, say you're making a bandolier bag or... All right, so now we got our front stitches, and now we're going to focus on the back stitching, okay? As you can see on here in this completed one, we have stitching that kind of gathers up at the bottom, and we have a running stitch. So right here is our center point. That's the center. We'll do the same method. Take your ring finger, and we're only going to do 5 in total, okay? So not 5 going way down, you have 5 in total. Simple as that, okay? So now we're ready to start punching holes in our leather. So you take your awl, and when you're punching your holes, do not get too close to here because your leather will rip. So try to stay at a good reasonable distance away from the edge of that hide, okay? Okay, now that we have all of our holes punched out, now it's time to get stitching. So what you're gonna do is take your lace and give it a pretty big knot. So, in the stitching, what you're gonna do is face the top of your foot to you, and you're not gonna stitch where these markings are. That's gonna be where your foot actually goes in. So we're gonna stitch from the outside in, okay? And take your leather and just kind of roll it kind of like a needle in a way, so it'll pass right through very, very easily. And if you pull too hard sometimes, and it might break your leather, that's all right. You can always just cut another piece out. So we'll start from the right. We have our first initial stitching done. So next, what we'll have here is, see how this one, it's on the inside, but we're going to stitch from the outside, right? So it's going to cross over into here. See that? Where it's kind of doing like an arch from the inside to the out. And what we'll do, and as you stitch, take it very gently, don't yank out too hard because you'll break your leather, is you're going to start your puckering process, all right? So as you're pulling on this, take your fingers and try to push this hide to that knot, all right? That's your first pucker. We'll go jump on the other side. So we're going from right to left. Same on here. We're going to pull. That's what you're going to want right here. And pull and press. And seeing how the pucker is starting to take shape. And so that's the puckering that we have here. And so what we'll do next is we're going to do a running stitch, okay? So the running stitch basically is like so. So we'll poke through both sides of the hide, not just one, both, okay? We'll run through the one. All right. So now that we got the whip stitching, or your gathering, and your running stitching, we're done with the front end. Now it's time to work on the back side, okay? And so it's gonna be a lot different when you do the stitching on this. We're not gonna start in the middle, okay? Do not start right there. What we're gonna do is start from the outside and work our way down, okay? I'll show you guys. So now that we got that stitching done right there, what we'll do next is the same as the front. We're going to do a running stitch, okay? So run this down the line. And there you have it. There are your moccasins. Thank you everyone for joining us today, and we hope you go along with this craft and take it as many ways as you can and keep learning. Mado.